Ready? So welcome. Thank you for being here today. We're here to give you a brief update on an outstanding work that the Detective Division of the Providence Police Department conducted. And as a result of that, two individuals were arrested and will be held accountable for the homicide that we had on October 28, where two people in our city lost their life. It is my condolences again to the families, but I'll tell you that it's also a good feeling to be able to bring justice to the families for this violent crime. I want to reiterate, those that want to come to the city and commit violent crimes will be held accountable. I have the utmost confidence in the Detective Division and the men and women that day in and day out conduct themselves in a professional manner, and that's why we're here today to announce that we made an arrest on that October 28 homicide. And I'll turn it over to I'll briefly, the Mayor LaPayton will come up and give you some details, but I'll come back. The Mayor will do his remarks, and I'll come back and state it in Spanish as well, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Colonel. Okay. Obviously, you're all aware of October 28th, double homicide. Since then, detectives have worked relentless in trying to solve these murders. Today, as a result of that investigation, there were two houses hit concurrently, which was one on Highland Avenue in Warwick and one in Norton, Mass. Two suspects, which you have the names for, and we'll give them to you after, were arrested. They were questioned. We had a murder warrant for one, and at the end of the day, we had it for two. So we have two people charged with the murders of these victims. As far as specifics, how we did it, we're not prepared to go into it right now, as we're still working this investigation till we bring them to court tomorrow. If you have any questions on what I just told you, I'd be happy to answer them as best as I can.
So Miguel Perez is the one in Warwick. Who's the person from Norton?
That's correct. The person from Norton is a Tyler Freeman.
Freeman.
Right.
And which one of these two people would pull the trigger?
Okay, so that's part of what we are working on now. It doesn't mean we don't know, but it's just we're not ready to release it yet.
Do you have an age for Freeman?
Freeman was born in '95, already had his birthday, so.
I know earlier in the investigation it was said that the shooting was targeted. Any idea what they were targeted for?
Yeah, so we do know it was targeted, but right now we're not prepared to say why. But as we said earlier, it had nothing to do with drugs or money. Okay.
The suspect in Warwick, was he arrested before for a home invasion at all? They're in Court Connect. There was 229.
We believe that's him, yes. Yep.
And that was a home invasion. So he was in prison and released?
He was paroled, yes.
Okay. Do you know when he was paroled?
I believe it was 18.
Could you repeat that, Major? When was he out? He was supposed to serve 20 years in 2015.
Yeah.
8 years later.
Yeah, I can't be sure on that, John, but what I'm guessing is, I think he went to court on the 15th. That might have happened earlier. We've been so busy I haven't been able to get to that part yet. That could have been earlier, so take a couple of years there. Then, usually those sentences, they let them do a third, and then they're eligible for parole. So he might have done, 6 years, 7 years, and then he came before the parole board.
Can you talk about what was the key with this investigation? This was, so the suspect gets into the truck, basically executes the two individuals.
Right.
What happened afterwards that makes you today? That you can share this?
So what I will share with you, the key is our investigative unit, and what a great job they do. Our new digital intelligence unit, who basically works with phones, computers, video, they were outstanding. Intelligence unit. Now these are all units that helped out our detectives, and it was just a tremendous amount of work, and they did a great job.
There were narcotics found today in Warwick, according to the Warwick police.
Yes.
So is it possible that the guys, the the meeting took place centered around maybe the driver thought it was a transaction of narcotics. Is that fair to say? Like what drew the driver there?
The driver was drawn there by a falsehood. That's all I'll say. Okay? And it was set up to murder him.
Was a weapon found in Warwick?
There were weapons found. All right. Yes. Yes. And one more second. And before I do, I want to just acknowledge Captain Aspinall, Lieutenant O'Brien for leading this investigation, and of course Sergeant Perez, his unit, was instrumental in this. Thank you.
Mayor.
Is it first-degree murder they're both being charged with?
Well, we'll do additional questions at the end. I want to have a chance to express my gratitude to the Providence Police Department, the men you see behind us, and the other supporting agencies who helped bring justice to this situation and hopefully some comfort to the family of the victims. Once again, in Providence, our heart breaks every time there's an instance of violent crime in our city, and certainly when a life is lost. But hopefully there is some comfort knowing about the extreme professionalism and skill of the Providence Police Department and the job that they do to bring resolution to cases like this. And so I want to thank them again for their incredible hard work, the speed at which they were able to bring some closure to this case, and again to thank the hard work of the members of the police department who are behind me and those who aren't here with us today, and including partners and other law enforcement agencies who helped make this happen. We remain vigilant at all times in our city to make Providence a safe place for all, and in moments like this, at least we can say that we've been able to resolve this issue, and we remain on guard every day in the city of Providence to make sure that everyone who works here, who visits here, and who lives here certainly can do so safely and enjoy the peaceful place that we know Providence is. I will turn it back to Colonel Perez to make a few more remarks and to share his remarks in Spanish, and then we'll continue to answer questions.
Colonel, before you
Yes.
just list everyone that's standing behind you, just so everyone.
Yes, absolutely, John. So we have Captain Aspinall, Sergeant Perez, Lieutenant O'Brien, Detective Nasir, Detective Mitch Guerra, and Lieutenant Bobby Papa.
Just touch on Colonel, this was 9 days ago.
Before I go there, Johnny, I just wanted to say something that I want to thank and echo the sentiments of the mayor as far as thanking all those law enforcement agencies that helped us out, which was Warwick Police Department, the Massachusetts State Police, the Northern Massachusetts Police Department, the Secret Service, and obviously the Digital Intelligence Unit of the Providence Police Department, who did an outstanding work analyzing all this different technology that we have in place. But go ahead, John.
I just want to, this was 9 days ago, double homicide. That's, you know, pretty remarkable police work to have that type of turnaround and come away with the rest. Today was the funeral.
Correct. And that's why I started by saying that my condolences go out to the family. But I'll tell you, the outstanding work of the men and women of this department is what brings justice to those families that are grieving today. We don't want to see any lives lost. And I said it before, I tell you, come here to the city, to community, any criminal acts, any violent crimes, you're going to be held accountable. There's a lot of great people in the city. This is a beautiful city. And we have to make sure that we tell them that it's a safe city. And it's not, it's work. It's work that we do day in and day out. And the men and women of this department, the ones that you see behind me, is the ones that do the work on a daily basis. Eso, sí, ¿verdad? Muchas gracias, Reinaldo. So, sinceramente, lo que pasó hoy verdaderamente un homicidio que pasó en octubre 28. Estamos aquí esta tarde para explicar que tenemos dos personas que fueron arrestadas. Una en la ciudad de Warwick. Esa persona es Miguel Pérez, de 29 años. Y en la ciudad de Massachusetts, en norte de Massachusetts, otra persona, Tyler Freeman, que lo trajeron acá a la estación. Ellos son responsables de la muerte que sucedió en octubre 28. Expliqué ahorita que mis condolencias van a la familia. Es muy importante que la comunidad sepa que esa ciudad es una ciudad segura y que esas acciones violentas que ocurren en esta ciudad, esas personas van a ir a la corte y verdaderamente van a ser presentadas. Esa es la justicia que se le da a la familia. Hoy verdaderamente la familia está enterrando esos dos individuos, y para nosotros es un placer decirles que les traemos justicia para que ellos entiendan eso. Cualquier persona que piense venir a esta ciudad de Providence, que es una ciudad hermosa, bella, que sepan que se van a cometer actos violentos, que van a ser responsables de eso. Los que tengo aquí atrás de mi persona son los detectives encargados que hicieron un tremendo trabajo, y fueron ellos los que fueron responsables de asegurarnos de que estas personas que fueron metidas presas hoy los hagamos responsables de eso. Es el buen trabajo de la unidad de inteligencia y de digitales que tenemos aquí en el departamento, que son los que se encargan de eso.
¿Qué detalles se saben frente a si uno de los dos es responsable y si halló un arma en alguna de las viviendas?
Sí, eso, investigaciones, hubieron un search warrant, una registración del apartamento, y hubieron muchas evidencias, pero eso es parte de la investigación que continuará, y esas personas van a ir a la corte mañana.
El alcalde ahorita mencionó una de las armas fue allá, ¿en qué vivienda? ¿Cuál de los dos sospechosos?
En Warwick. Correcto. Muchas gracias. So we'll go back. So, el servicio secreto tienen unas iniciativas en las cuales nosotros usamos muchos de los resources que ellos tienen, que muchas veces son algo que el departamento no tiene, y nos ayudan a identificar más que todo cuando tiene que ver con sistemas electrónicos.
Can you say that in English as well? I saw.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so the question was how the Secret Service helped out, and so my answer was that they have certain resources that the department uses, and especially when it comes to digital evidence and analyzing for certain forensic evidence that we need to when it comes to technology.
Which agency arrested Tyler?
Which agency? Well, the Providence Police Department responded to Norton, Mass, in conjunction with the Mass State Police and Norton Police Department as well.
Colonel, also in Warwick this morning, I saw a Homeland Security vehicle. How were they involved?
It's possible that the Secret Service was part of that as well as they were in the morning, but I can confirm that for you later, John. Yep.
Were there any complications in either one of those operations this morning, Norton or Warwick?
None whatsoever. It's well prepared. This is incidents that's what we do. When it comes to high risk individuals that we're looking for, we prepare, we plan accordingly, and that's what the Providence Police Department does. So.
Are you looking for more suspects?
It's an investigation that still goes on, and if we need to, we will. But at this point, we have 2 individuals that will be presented to court tomorrow.
The other guy that got arrested in Warwick for.
I'm sorry?
The other suspect who got arrested in Warwick this morning, unrelated to murder?
Unrelated to that, correct.
Colonel, also, your younger brother was a sergeant on the case?
Yes.
Does that bring special pride within the family? That's a big case to be part of.
Absolutely, he does great work, but it's the men and women of this department that on a constant basis, obviously, we have family members, we all do. I happen to have my brother on this job, but if you look down the line, I guarantee you that every member in this department has either someone that they know, and so it makes us proud to be able to bring justice to that family today that is grieving and lost their family members. Thank you, John.
Has there been anyone to speak to the family? What has the family told you after, telling them that you guys were under
And-
arrest finally?
And so that's something that I'll leave alone. Like I said, I'll let the family grieve, and I'll tell you that I know that they're pleased.
We're also working on the story of the 5-year-old who was found in the park
Yes.
today. Is there a reason why, the media wasn't alerted earlier when she went missing last night?
So it happened around just before midnight. I'll tell you that immediately when we were notified, we responded. We used every resource we had at midnight, and it's unfortunate. It's sad. Listen, I'm a father, and we have a lot of police officers here, fathers and parents, and so and when you see cases like that, it's sad. But no, we responded. We notify every member. We had a lot of resources, the K9 drones, and we ended up finding the child around 4 o'clock in the morning. But because of the situation, and then we notified the media. But at that point, we were just more concerned on finding that child.
Mr. Smiley, you pleased with the work of the Providence Police Department? I see you in the press conference today, proud of the police force.
I am proud of our police force, and I think every resident of Providence should be. This is excellent work that we're talking about here today, but this is just the latest example of their extreme skill and professionalism. And under the leadership of Colonel Perez and the entire command staff, we have an excellent police department of whom I'm very proud of, and I think residents of Providence are very proud of. As you know, I have worked hard to try to support and defend their hard work. And I think the evidence is showing that the community is broadly very supportive of the work of this department. We've just closed another recruiting period to continue to backfill vacancies and to get the staffing levels up to where it should be. And maybe a month ago, we were in this room for an open house for that application period, and every seat in this auditorium was full. The colonel asked for a show of hands of who lived in Providence. Most of the hands went up. Looking throughout the room, it was largely potential recruits of color. There were many women in the room. We are continue to lead the way in diversifying the police force, of providing the latest 21st century training, and remain an accredited department in community policing, all of which put us at the leading edge of policing in America, and it's something that Providence residents should be proud of, and I know I certainly am.
Mayor, just a quick question. We're seeing an increase in these anti-Semitic protests in the city. Do you have a message for the Jewish residents of the city? And they also, today at the Textron building, they keep talking about the Israeli flag of Israel outside of City Hall.
Yeah.
If you could just touch on both of those.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a very hard time in the world right now, which is deeply troubling and upsetting to many people here at home. And that's what I'm most focused on, is making sure that residents of Providence feel safe and secure in their home. And so we know that there has been a dramatic increase in anti-Semitic crimes in the country. We've had instances of, thankfully were hoaxes, but things like bomb threats that have been received at local synagogues. And so I was proud to fly the Israeli flag over City Hall as a statement of support to our Jewish community, to make sure that they know that Providence City government stands with them and do whatever we can to ensure that they're able to come together as a community and pray in peace. We've worked very closely with local synagogues and rabbis to make sure that they have the support that they need from public safety officials, but we also are working with the Muslim community and other communities. Any instance of hate in our community, whether it be anti-Semitic hate, anti-Islam hate, has no place in Providence. And so there have been several protests. I'm happy that they've been peaceful. I certainly don't agree with much of what's been said at those protests, but I respect their right to do so long as they do so peacefully. My message to the community in Providence is clear, which is that hate has no home in Providence, and that we will do what it takes to keep you safe. And there's a special message to the Jewish community that right now I've heard from members of the community who tell me that they don't feel safe going to synagogue. That breaks my heart. And so we're doing everything we can proactively to ensure safety in those places, so that anyone who wants to practice their faith tradition or come together as a community can feel safe and confident to do so.
Did you take the flag down?
I did.
Why?
All of our flags rotate. We're going to be raising the transgender flag for Transgender Day of Remembrance next. The flag outside of City Hall, the American flag, always flies. And then we rotate flags through for special events or special statements of support regularly.
Can we go back to the missing girl, if you don't mind?
Sure.
What's the status of that investigation? Is there anything suspicious about her death?
No, so that's all being investigated, obviously, by the medical examiner's office.
Did she have autism or special needs?
So I'll tell you this, let the family grieve now. The last thing I want to do is say something here that's inappropriate for a family member, and I'll tell you this, that we feel very sorry about the loss of this child and their families.
I have time for a few more questions if we got them.
With Tyler Freeman, what time was their operation when they arrested him, and where exactly?
Both of them were around 6:30 this morning.
Do you have an address where that operation took place? Or like a street?
We do, I'll give it to you after. Okay,
Major, the night of the double homicide,
yes.
the suspect gets into the truck, shoots both individuals, the passenger and the driver, removes the cell phone of the driver. Can you confirm that that cell phone was found in the wallet?
I'm not even confirming that he got in the car and moved the cell phone of the driver. Okay, so, like I said, this investigation is solid. We believe that. And you have one shot at this, to put all our evidence together, bring it to court. We're gonna make sure it's done right. By tomorrow, it'll be done right and brought to court, and we can talk more, okay?
Providence Police went to Norton as well.
They did, yeah.
Both of the suspects knew the victims?
Yes, I believe so, yeah. Yes.
Last one?
Elaborate.
You know, he did have somewhat, mostly out of state. So, some.
Thank you, guys. I